So, when talking about being broke, what is a broke proof buffer plan? How can you make one of these magic things? Well, it comes down to having a sinking fund and an emergency fund. A sinking fund is where you set money aside for a specific thing. For example, we had $1,000 set aside for car repairs, but we also have an emergency fund. Now, our emergency fund is between 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And while it's supposed to be used for an emergency, such as losing a job, a medical emergency, stuff like that, it can still be accessed for things like when you find out that our car repair bill isn't $1,000, it's going to be $1,700. So I'm able to access that money that's in the emergency fund to be able to pay for that. And if you come at me and you're like, well, you're really privileged, so on and so forth, yes, I am to a degree, but I also came up very, very poor. At one point in my life, we were on food stamps. So I understand what it's like to struggle, and I have struggled, and I'm just sharing with you the information that I have gained along the way so that you don't have to struggle and you don't have to spend the incredibly long learning curve to get ahead in life. Because having that sinking fund set up and having an emergency fund set up means that we're not going to go into debt to get the car repaired. We're going to be able to pay for the car repair. In fact, we're going to be able to put it on a credit card that we earn miles on and we earn income back on. So we're going to have that benefit, but we're also able to then pay off that credit card in full. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we hadn't set up a sinking fund and an emergency fund to be able to do so. So start small with your funds. You don't have to put a lot of money in them to start with. Start small. Maybe $10, $25, $50, $100, whatever works for your budget, and then start setting that aside into the different funds. Sinking funds would be something like for car repair, car maintenance that you're going to have, maybe a vacation, maybe you want a new TV set or you want a couch. Start putting the money into a sinking fund for those. That way when you have the money available to you, you're just able to go purchase it and not put it on any type of debt. And then also start saving money for your emergency fund because it will go sideways at some point. It's inevitable in this day and age that things will go sideways. So it's important to have that emergency fund available to you so you give yourself some cushion. There's also mindset shift because no one gets this right overnight. There's no magic fairy who shows up and you get this immediately right. And the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Because even small changes to your spending habits and small changes to your saving habits will add up over time and will wind up making a big difference for you in the long run. The key is to focus on what you can control. And there are a lot of things that are within your control. So take control of your finances, take a look at how you're spending, and then figure out where you can adjust your spending to align with your goals and align with how you are as a person. And you'll be much better off in the long run.